Happy Friday, everyone. It's that time of year again, seed starting time. I like to get a jump start personally, get it started inside. I'm terrible at transplanting those, so they normally die, but I'm trying to participate in an event that I can show up and donate or sell the little seedling transplants to kind of just, raise awareness of farming and the fact that you can grow your own food. So, I just usually use this Jiffy, like cheap stuff, $5 for a nice soilless mix. And these are the seeds that I have going in this flat. I have, let's see, what we got. Royal Purple Pod, beans and peas and tomatoes going in this flat. Royal Purple Pod, Bush Blue Lake 47, a blue Bantam, Burpee's Stringless Green Pod, and a yellow pear tomato. So how I did is I basically have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flats here, and I just decided to do one packet of seeds per flat, so it's easy in the future for me to identify what's growing, because it's kind of hard to tell at the seedling stage sometimes, depending on the species of the plant. Like it'll be easy for me to differentiate the beans from the tomatoes, but as the individual peas from themselves, not unless I got a marker. So what I'm doing is I just set the lid on it, which is usually the hardest part of this whole thing, believe it or not, and just use vinyl tape, which some people call it electrical tape, but it's just vinyl, right? Electrical tape may have some special properties or something. So this one right here is just like what's called for labeling tape. They have it in the electrical aisle, and they have it all different colors. It's for color coding your wiring. So I just use this, and what I do is I write the species on it here, and then what I'll do is I'll put like where along the flat that species is. I'll also take a small piece and mark the end here and the end on the black bottom liner, so I know which way is left and right. Alright, so here we go. Got my knife to cut that, vinyl tape, tiny Sharpie. Wrote out all my little labels here, and I have my marker at the end. Now, all I do is sit back and wait. I'm going to put this back here, grab another one, move it here, start planting more seeds, and that's how it's going to go. Alright, I got a new flat here. I got some of the worst seeds ever to handle in the world planted here, which is thyme. They are super tiny. Now I'm just going about with some bunching onions, if you can read that upside down. So I just want to show, like, there's tools for this, for seed dispensing, but I like to just take the seed packet and make a super sharp crease right here in the center. And then I just kind of get the seeds queued up, and all I gotta do is just tap the edge of the packet and they advance forward. And I usually put about 2 or 3 seeds per. Oops, there's 4. But you see that? Just dispenses them really nicely. Just very controlled. You'd think that it would be an avalanche or something, but it actually just dispenses nicely. Just tap tap. Works great. Okay, I'm pretty sure I got all of them. We'll see later. That was the bunching onions. Super hard, right? Now, I'm going to move on to the garlic chives and just keep on going through the stack. This is going to be my herb box. It's going to have thyme, bunching onions, some garlic chives, and then 2 types of basil. On my last flat for today, I think. Running out of seeds anyways. At least I'm running out of the seeds that I can find. I have tons of seeds, can only find these. I'm going with the Carnival Blend Sweet Pepper, Sugar Baby Watermelon, Purpless Beauty Cukes, or cucumbers, and the Cantaloupe, which is the Honey Rock. Now, I'm going with 2 flats, or whatever you want to call these, cell groups of cantaloupe because I love cantaloupe. So does my wife. Now, I've heard different things about after you get to this step. Do you spritz it with water? Do you just cover with soil, then spritz it with water, soak it, yada yada? A million ways to skin a cat, but one concrete thing I know is that the depth of soil above the seed matters. And the smaller your seed, the less soil you need on top of it. I think there's some rule like there should be 3 times the length of the seed soil above it. But what I do is I grab a handful and I just kind of cover it like this. With larger seeds, I'll just dump it on here and then just spread it around. But with these ones, I just want to make sure that they don't get kind of lost. Anyways, so do that. Another thing that's really important is that the seeds, they need something pressed against them. I think a lot of people are worried when they plant, like seedlings are very delicate. Well, they're actually really resilient because, I mean, it's like the plant's last-ditch effort in order to continue its genes. And some of the strongest things within creatures, all living creatures, is self-reproduction, right? So, seeds are resilient. That being said, they need something to push against, or something pushing against them. In nature, probably a seed would fall, or get trampled on by an animal, or pushed in, or whatever, you know. Rain occurs and drops the seed further down, but when we're just artificially doing it, we don't have any of that, so we gotta kind of recreate it the best we can. Luckily, it's really easy and comes in the form of just light pressure on top of the seeds. That's all you're trying to give, is a light pressure. You don't want to compact it like it's a brick, but you do not also want it like I'm doing now, just on top like this. That's not enough, okay? It will push the soil aside and not have a nice strong base. Okay, so there we go. It's pretty much dusted with soil. Now all I do is I come back with my hand and gently tamp it down. Ever so gently. I'm really not even just putting my full weight of my hand on there. I'm just kind of gently pressing down. And this will allow the seedling to form, in my experience, a much stronger initial base root or something like that. I'm not sure the exact term for it, but the sprout, which is under the soil, will be much larger diameter and a much better start for your seed if you tamp it down like this. And that's because when it starts growing and breaks out of the seed shell, it uses moisture to soften the shell first, and then it turns into, you know, the seed sprout. And then that sprout grows and grows, and it uses the little nutrients in the shell to provide it for what it needs to grow. And as that happens, it pushes up and out of the shell. And then it starts pushing the top layer of soil up. If the top layer of soil is pressed down enough, the sprout or seedling has to actually extend more energy to create a larger, I guess, core or diameter seedling to push up and through the dirt. And this gives it a better start. If you just lightly toss it on there, the second it pops out of the shell, it'll spring right through the dirt. And it seems kind of like not underpowered, but undergrown. You know, kind of gangly, or whatever the word is. Skinny, leggy, and not as good. So just by doing this, should give it a much better start. Then, I grab the water spritzer, and I'm really low on water. But I'll come back and spritz the whole thing. Alright, now I got to go back and do all the labeling for this, and I think I'm going to call it an afternoon. Alright, there we go. Just had to go and refill my little spray bottle. I hope this tape's going to hold up, man. It's the first time I used it for this. I usually do use the masking tape, but it doesn't really work too good and always dies after a while. Alright, so I like to give it a nice, good soak. This is also, I'm sure, a point of contention among anyone that does it. What works best, you know. I know that you're not supposed to soak it, so don't fill it with water till it's overflowing. That I can agree on. But they need water to soften the shell of the seed, and sunlight, and soil. Not even soil, a medium to grow in, okay? Because like this is a soilless medium right now. So they don't even actually need soil to grow. Just something to grow in. Hence the word medium. Alright, now I just need to poke that in because I saw it peeking up and I want it to have a nice start. So I'm putting it back under. Just a little bell pepper seed floating to the top. It needs to be closed a little more. Anybody else hate sprayers? Because I do. They pretty much either don't spray or stream. Like, oh my god. Of course, had to jinx myself on that. That's good enough. I'm going to add the rest of the moisture underneath it. There we go. Thanks for bearing with me as I plant 150 plants. Not bad, it really didn't take too long. Now I need to go pick up some more of these, or just some of the bottom trays, propagation trays, before I can get started with my own stuff. Hope you enjoy your Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Go plant something.